Greetings, welcome back to CS133 Practical Program with Python. This is week 4, the practice for the SenseHat. Again, hopefully you've already made your attempt. We're just going to jump right into it. I might do a little extra just to make it nicer, but let's go ahead and get the temperature right. So, kind of did that at the end of the last lesson, but temp equals, and again, what did we call this? S. So, S dot temp. Now we have the temp. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get color green. Again, you don't necessarily need this, but it will work without it. And I'll show you that as well. Sorry, G225, 0. And I might make this a little larger. And then we're going to do a while statement. So this is going to be kind of interesting one. So somebody might get stuck with this. So while temp and while temp is less than 100, we're going to go ahead and do our s.show message. All right. If we just do the first parameter, it'll just pick, it's just white, right? So if we run that, it'll just be white. I'm going to do print I lied. So you'll see what happens when you print when the SenseHat is going off. That was all the default from SenseHat import SenseHat, which is all the commands, and we take all the commands, we put them into the variable s so we can use them later on in the thing. And again, you can always go back and look at some of the other code, show message. Remember, it's whatever the string is, comma, and then if we want the text, which we'll do later. But let's go ahead and run this. Looks like it's already running. And it's saying it's not too bad. Not too bad. Now this is what I was talking about. I'm going to pull it over 100. Well, first of all, we'll see an error, right? It's not too bad. Right? You notice it didn't stop. Well, for a couple reasons, we'll see in a real second why it didn't, but it didn't stop. It didn't stop after 100. Why didn't it stop? Right? We got the temp. It was under 100. So temp is under 100. Temp is still under 100. Temp is still under 100. So this is really important to understand when you're doing your code. You really have to follow the variables. So if you struggled with this practice, again, you get the temp, it's under 100, and that's it, right? Temp is under 100. When you do this while, it's not getting the temperature again here. So if it's 60, it's 60, it's 60, it's 60. You need to re-get the temperature. All right, so now I gotta stop this, and I'm gonna pull the temperature down, run it. Now this is what I was talking about. If I pull it over 100 real quick, notice how it didn't stop it, and I pull it back under 100. And it gets the temperature now, so it's under 100. So I'll bump it up over to 100. And if you max it out, I think it actually breaks, so don't max it out, just make it over 100. And that might have been another error you had. Not too bad, it's over 100, so it should stop and print I lied. There you go. That was what you should have done for the code. I'll try to get this all into one little page for you. Oh, and then if we want to do green, we can, again, comma, text underscore color equals green. And then I gotta get it. If I run it now, it's just gonna print I lied because it's not over 100. Oh, hold still. Now I run it, and now it's in green, right? So if you want it in a color, you can add another parameter for that. That's all there is for the practice. We now know our last piece, really, for the guessing game, because we just need the random numbers. Going on next week, we're going to learn about date, time, and try and accept, and then also more string functions. All right. So basically, we learned all the basics. To summarize the last 4 weeks, we learned the basics: variables, inputs, casting, logic, loops, list, and functions. Now we did import, which is starting to get into the more advanced because it allows us more functionality. But then we're going to go into date, time, try, accept, and you'll see some examples of why this might be nice as we move forward into files. And then again, finally, we're going on to back into SenseHat to start like making projects and really learning the practical programming part of this. So that's all I have. We'll see you next week.